Welcome to Lima Time Time. Bad stories? I don't know what I named this. We're doing a reaction video to the famed Disco Demolition Night. We're going to see how this works. If you're just hearing this, the video was on YouTube, and you can find the link on our Twitter page. This game was obviously a famed matchup between the clown dog delivery guys from the movie Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead versus the blue road team, which could be any possible team from the 80s. But in actuality, it's the Chicago White Sox, the Detroit Tigers. You might be familiar with that voice you just heard. It's none other than famed sexual deviant and drunk Hall of Famer Harry Carey, just a straight legend. I mean, he was always drinking, he was always pretty much hammered, and he was always looking for a nice set of gazongas in the bleachers. So I've been wanting to do a storytelling episode on this crazy night, and I thought, what better than to just have us all watch along. This is fucking insane. Harry Carey just caught a foul ball with his famed net that he typically uses that to trap women around the stadium and lock them in a cage and kidnap them later for him to be a sexual deviant with. So it's nice to see that net being put to some positive. It's crazy that this happens right off the bat, because if that's any indication of how the night's going to go, then it is an indication of how the night's going to go. In fact, that's pretty crazy.
Tigers, Ron LaFleur will lead it off and play center field. Steve Kemp will be in left field and bat second.
This guy, the color guy,
will bat fourth.
Can't even do the lineup.
Go back again. LaFleur will lead it off. Whitaker will bat second. He'll be at second.
Just the dumbest guy ever.
Steve Kemp.
Steve Kemp's in, and he's pitching in the Jason Thompson's married to Bavette, and John Summers is his last name's changed to Winters. He's playing DH. What do those letters mean? Alan Trammell. I'm familiar with that name. I can't.
I want to tell you. Unbelievable. A guy like me who never thinks like anything like they're putting on out here. This is unbelievable. I want to tell you.
They got
we'll be right back
a caricature of Chicago just out there. He's just eating Polish sausage and
where the fans will be going wild all night.
Doing this. So they have famed Disco Demolition Night, where a bunch of rowdy teens came to get hammered and just riot against minorities and gay people, which are pretty much who was making disco music. So if you're looking for the political and societal undertones, it's definitely there. If you look at that crowd there, it's not too diverse. Harry's like, look at that crowd, because he's probably seen 3 different sets of gazongas he likes.
You would help me out, but out here tonight, this is bad for my, I don't know.
And he's got the Sausage King of Chicago doing color with him.
I want him to see the shirt you're wearing. How about that shirt, Harry? Can you make that out? It says outpatients.
Oh, we got it funny. That's the world's first funny T-shirt.
He's wearing shirt. Boy, oh boy, oh boy.
These guys are full of it. And this is a real broadcast. This isn't Anchorman.
Let's talk about my catch. Let's talk about your catch.
Harry Carey's already hammered, which is incredible. So yeah, I think he only did 1 season with the White Sox, if I'm not mistaken, but he might have done more. Wait a second, we'll get back to that. Whoa. Did that guy just yell faggot? I'm pretty sure I just heard a very homophobic slur, and I'm above laughing at that. It's not funny. It's not funny to somebody singing weirdly to yell out a homophobic slur at them. It's not funny. It was in 1970 or 79, whenever this was. I did a bunch of research. I still don't know what year it was. Whatever year this was, it was funny then. Well, right off the bat, this is already the most exciting thing I've ever watched. So this is, I actually have, I've skimmed through this, and I watched like a highlight clip of a while back, but I like all of the good reaction video people on YouTube. I decided to wait and kind of watch it for the first time and narrate it. So right off the bat, this thing's wild. We have a homophobic slur. Harry Carey's caught a foul ball and is with a net and is hammered. The color guy can't read the lineup because he's distracted by the music and everything going on. There's teens everywhere chanting "Disco sucks" and putting signs up.
They have worked hard to make those signs. They sure don't want to take them down.
They used to goof around on the commentary. And then the uniforms, the Chicago White Sox uniforms, literally are just the clown dog outfit from the boyfriend in the movie Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. If you know what I'm talking about, then you're like, yes, great reference, Patrick. Excellent. And if not, then they're just dressed like a bowling team.
Remember last night I was trying to figure out how to say it.
Harry Carey's already hammered and he's already slurring a little bit.
As much as you spend time in the loop, Harry.
I'm near north side.
Oh, you never walked out by the loop, huh?
Very seldom.
When you got two bad baseball teams, you needed guys that were hammered and that were sexual deviants to get you from the beginning of the game to the end. You needed antics, you needed goofing. And they're trying to get through it as well. So it's kind of like a perfect marriage for some fun, some stories. You got a nice catch by the teens hanging out with a guy with a skullet. Clearly, that's some sort of gang initiation for the Hells Angels. Sons of Anarchy are recruiting. Taking all their criminals to the White Sox game for Disco Demolition Night because they only like rock. This is shitty baseball. 1-0 Detroit Tigers.
I like the way these kids took their signs down there anyway.
And the pitcher's windup couldn't be more old-timey. Like both of them. If you're looking for like an outdated good plays, it's out to Alan Trammell.
Boy, that kid's fooling nobody right now.
Boy, he had a fool on a curveball. Change of pace.
So there's there's energy early on. There's a guy in a newsboy hat. If you see a guy in a newsboy hat at a baseball game, the hipsters are there, and you need to be on alert.
The streamers of paper continue to be
Yeah, if you see a newsboy hat or
we're going to have a lot of delays here tonight.
or like a strange fedora type hat at a baseball game, you need to be concerned. All right, so they're throwing toilet paper on the field. It's the top of the first. I guess it's not the top of the first because we saw them play in the field. They're doing an absolutely horrendous job telling me what's going on. Okay, there's the Disco Sucks chant. Basically, they're saying, we hate colored and gay people. We hate minorities and LGBT. But we don't know what those letters are yet. We just call them slurs. And then the Chicago White Sox, a.k.a. waiters at a Venice-themed... I don't know, not Venice. Because that would be like gondoliers and they dress like mimes. I don't know what this is, but it's a bowling team, it's got a polo collar. Again, I do not see one. There's one minority. I saw one minority in that. That's what I'm going to be. I'm not going to keep track, but I am going to, every time I can, I'm going to see if I can see any. So they hate, basically black people were making the sick disco music for the most part. And then also you have it's a strong LGBT aspect of it as well. It's raining men or whatever. It's always raining, and pretty much it's always raining some sort of men. So that's why they didn't like disco, because they only like rock music, and disco is too much change. Basically, it's their hip hop, and it's ruining the minds of everybody. But it also, I see why some people think it's lame too, because it got so popular that like the Rolling Stones and like popular rock bands were making disco tracks just to like stay relevant, which is fucking lame.
I went to the library today to look up some words about law.
What, you went to the library to look up some words about law? There's another slur I'd use right here, and it starts with an R. This guy. And he's clearly lying, because we saw when the lineups came up, he can't read. This is Mark Summers, the famed Nickelodeon host that liked to more toilet paper. So they're just throwing stuff at players. Look how big that field is.
Oh, it's going to be a long night, Harry. You might as well live it up a little.
3 balls and a strike.
I think it's crazy just the stark contrast of physiques from this era in baseball to what they are now. Baseball players were not always specimen like they are today. Ooh, that was absolutely ripped. Another disco sucks chant. The people are really there too. They really are against disco. And not ironically. Like, they're there to get hammered and throw shit. Basically, it's like a field trip of a bunch of rowdy teens drinking and just ready for... Look, these guys are looking for trouble.
Gang here from Ireland's restaurant tonight.
Oh, they're from a restaurant.
Boy, they got banners all over the place.
And the camera is bad. That's actually a gray uniform. It's not blue like previously it looked like. I was wrong on that. I'll cop to that.
Rolling inside. As I understand the background
You can
of this promotion, the Steve Dahl,
I'll let you hear them say it.
or Dahl, was a disc jockey on
Got my
the
Chardonnay.
station here that played rock and roll,
Harry's too hammered.
and they switched to disco music. Well, anyway, the Steve Dahl, because the station changed their format to disco, was fired.
Mm-hmm.
So as I hear it, he got a new job on his WLUP, the Loop.
Also, this guy is a huge asshole, so let's keep that in mind.
There's a line drive, made drive in.
Yeah, Steve Dahl was working for a rock station, and yeah, they decided to change to a disco station and fired him because obviously you don't want the annoying fucking rock guy talking about disco. And so this guy has a vendetta against disco music. So this promotion came. So he's basically fueling this anger. This is it. Like, he's been like on the radio hyping this up. Like, he has like these loyal listeners, and they're called something really stupid, and I can't remember. I'll pull up my notes in a little bit. Yeah, his listeners have a name, and they're like fucking. Yeah, they're like Howard Stern. They're just like, they're crazy. Yeah, see, that's what they're talking about.
Actually filled the ballpark on their promotion.
So they've been like talking about this and like just really fucking ramping people up. So people actually brought, like, if you brought your record, you got in for 99 cents or something, because something like that, 97 cents, something like that, whatever the station call sign was. That's how cheap the tickets were. So that was the promotion. And then you get to burn your record at some point, which definitely won't backfire and isn't something that will be a catalyst for absolutely insane events. That definitely won't be that. Can you imagine going somewhere like to protest some kind of music at a baseball game and just like really like that's why you're there? I mean, that's wild. I'm not showing up at the Go Tejano Day just fucking protesting. That sounds kind of racist, but that's what this was. This was racist. There's another record.
They're loaded out of the bleachers in center field.
Here's another out of shape giant man.
Not much room left out there to
Just loafing.
rapidly filling up in the upper and lower.
Lamar Johnson's a beast. Look at this big dude.
Place really a buzz tonight on Disco, anti-Disco Demolition Night.
Anti-disco. So yeah, we're not. I don't know what is happening here with this.
Still having trouble with the fans out in center field.
What are they doing?
Hanging a banner out.
So yeah, they're not. So they're not even doing a group. I guess they didn't have the production team that they have. Obviously, they don't have the production team. But yeah, they've been basically just throwing shit, toilet paper, records, like throwing records like frisbees at players all throughout this game, and they have been this entire time.
San Francisco at Montreal just underway.
And that's seemingly subdued. So then they just casually mention it. And they were the players were talking about it. Might have been even Alan Trammell was like, or it was Rusty Staub. And he was talking about like, no, they were whipping these things like as hard as they could, and it was dangerous. And it was like it was the most dangerous thing I've ever seen. He said they would whiz by your head and like stick into the ground like razor blades and ninja stars, like a real problem.
Lorelei is upstairs, so we'll be having her on shortly.
And it's mostly teenagers, like I've said it 1,000 times already. So rowdy teens drinking, throwing shit. Like, if there ever was you have an impetus of anger. If there ever was a recipe for a riot, it was definitely this. Oh no. Harry Carey's got his net out and he's hiding behind her. He's about to jump out with his net, and because she thinks she has nice gazongas. Oh my God.
Good to see you. You do great, and listen, I hope that it really catapults your career.
What the fuck, dude?
Very much. So we go to the bottom of the fifth there.
All right, well, there's classic sexual harassment and assault, and I'm just very uncomfortable even talking about that, but that was the way. That's the way it was. Toots, get back in the kitchen. Don't worry, it'll be better in 2022. You won't have your rights stripped away or anything. I'm not laughing at that. Or digress. Immediately digress. It's about disco and how much we hate it. Get rid of it. It's always raining men, and we hate men. We're too straight for that. We're so straight that we are homophobes. We're so straight that we can't even understand the concept of being gay or being another race. We're so white and straight and drunk that we don't even know what being gay or a minority is. But we know we hate it.
You were on this afternoon, weren't you? Yeah, I was.
We're intrinsically understanding that it is bad and we hate it and we need to get rid of it. And we love the White Sox uniforms. We think these look tight, but we don't know what the word tight means. I mean, in the slang sense, obviously. We know what the word tight means because we're all a bunch of tightwads. Got 'em. This is how I picture all the baseball players from this era, or like this, like the jacked guy, but it's like kind of pre-steroids jacked. Nope, here we go.
I would hope they would wait between.
Yep, it's Donna Summers. It's raining men.
Everybody's here to have a good time, but there's no reason to disrupt the ball game.
Yeah, definitely don't disrupt the ball game. You'll be satisfied. Your bloodlust will be satisfied when we light all of the records on fire later. So just wait for that and don't do anything rash. Obviously, when one person throws something and it's hilarious, that probably the crowd probably like in the section died laughing, and that inspires 50 more record frisbee throwers, and then you have an issue. This is standard school rules. It's the angry mob mentality. If in school one person throws something, the next person's going to try it, and then 3 more bad people that weren't necessarily itching to throw first are ready to throw something, and then it becomes a riot. So this is exactly the same thing.
Disco demolition, but some of the fans getting a little antsy throwing these disco records out. Or records, I can't tell whether they're disco or rock or lullaby.
That's a good point. They're all lullabies, you fucking idiot. That was Disco Inferno. Burn that mother down, y'all.
process here as Bannister takes a strike. This is the first game of a doubleheader.
So yeah, I want to make sure the record does show that disco does rule. I think it rules. A lot of funk comes out of disco. That these people sucked. They were wrong. They were all wrong. The radio station was wrong. And that was the guy, the pervert that kissed the lady. Yeah, she's apparently she's some porn star that he exploits for his show, and that was the sleazeball that organized all this. And honestly, that besmirches the good name and the ownership of the White Sox, because they rule. Oh, this is what happened in the 10-cent beer night. Is that the second time you make an announcement or make people aware of it, they're gonna instantly get worse. You don't have enough cops to arrest these rowdy teens. They're telling, right, you fuck. See, they're all yelling the slur like they did at the guy singing the national anthem, which was not funny. It was hilarious. But you can't say that now. Then that was funny. It's not funny now to do that. All right, I'm gonna pull up some of my notes. So while before it gets too action-packed, I can give you some probably poor information that I've researched, but I'll give you it'll be a Clown Posse. Oh yeah, that's the name of.
Disco Army headed by Steve Dahl.
Listen to this.
WLUP radio.
Yeah,
FM 98.
Insane.
Which is the
What did he say?
rock station. Well, I think it's the best, without a question, the greatest teenage promotion night at any station.
That is an insane promotion that worked, but they're working with masters of promotion. The guy and son of the guy that invented the ticket promotion, an absolute legend. Really, the most fun part of when I was going to do the story. Oh, I don't care about the game. Why am I looking like I care? The storytelling thing was just to talk about all of the stuff leading up to this that was absolutely necessary. All right.
That's the story right now.
Let's see here.
Look at the people. They're looking for their seats. That's how crowded it is. Let me hear you. Okay, Nancy.
Oh, I'm surprised they like this song. I'm a sexual deviant and I am drunk. I hope this game ends soon, 'cause I've got two ladies caged. It is me, Harry Carey, and I am also very horny. It's very unnecessary for me to do that, and I apologize. Holy cow, I'm horny. That's my impression of Harry Carey. Is the moon made out of gazongas? You know, I wish Will Ferrell would have gone a little darker with his Harry Carey impersonation. Like, would have encapsulated the hilarious drunk that he actually was. If you watch any kind of Cubs game, they were during the day, not many people were watching, and he would just be like, "Look at the set of knockers on her out there," and he would just openly talk about it. He couldn't finish some of the games.
Well, the last two games, the White Sox have won with rallies in the bottom of the seventh. Game being delayed again because of these records. It's Disco Demolition Night.
I love how positive he's been about it, although it's been nothing but absolute mayhem and trouble this entire time.
The FM station, Loop, WLUP, is a rock and roller, and they don't like disco.
1979, I was right. They hate disco.
Boy, I can't get over these aisles, how jammed they are, even upstairs. There must not be any seats left.
Yeah, because nobody's watching the game. They're all riling each other up with just into a frenzy. All right, let me pull up my information. I get sidetracked.
Monday night in Chicago. There's a fan down there yelling. Man in a business suit.
All right.
Looks like he's trying to get the umpire's attention.
It was 97, so 97 cents
It's gonna be a wild scene out there in the center field bleachers.
for the price of the ticket. I was off a little bit off on that, but I was close.
I don't know how much attention they're paying to the ball game out there in center field.
They're not paying attention at all. They're just throwing stuff.
Whatever they're doing.
I tell you, 3/4 of these people here tonight have never been in this park before. They're looking for where the pigeons sit. They're looking for Harry.
Yeah, obviously.
One out, nobody on.
This is all John Travolta's fault. He dances too good, and my lady likes him, and I also like him, but I don't know what that feeling is. And I told you I'm too straight to even understand what homosexuality is, and I hate it.
They smoke too many cigarettes out there, those guys.
Okay, that's what I was looking for. Yeah, the name of the listeners and cult criminals were called the Insane Coho Lips. The Insane Coho Lips is the anti-disco army of listeners from some Steve Dahl. Wild. What the fuck is
Did
that?
they get 20% out of the 98 cents?
I don't know.
Yeah, apparently this has been promoted by Dahl on the radio as a war. So he clearly is absolutely to blame for this.
Smoke that cigarette.
And all the homophobic teens, of course.
Well, a lot of guys stoned.
But cause we don't want to place any blame on Bill Veeck and his son. Bill Veeck was the
That one just mid-skate.
owner of the White Sox that
Very dangerous. They're not allowed to call
just an absolute
keep that up.
treat, and maybe my favorite character in history of baseball. This guy absolutely rules.
Look at him way out there, big ones. Boy, and Torres put his hand on his head. You don't have a lot of people here.
Ground ball to the shortstop.
Yeah, Bill Veeck was not a fan of this promotion. Was actually in the hospital at the time, and he actually checked himself out of the hospital when it was going bad.
It ceases to be funny when someone might
Yeah, he basically was on his way to get tested in the hospital, and he just saw people like walking towards the ballpark and like cursing and stuff, and he was like, "Oh no!" he could like sense that it was happening, which is very, very funny. And basically, they all had signs that were like curse words. They were just like "fuck disco." It was profanity and against disco again, which is a wild. Maybe people were there ironically, because that is kind of funny if you just go do that and then,
Doubleheader when there's no action on the field at all.
because it seems arbitrary and very weird.
What the station doing?
So yeah, it's supposed to be a doubleheader too.
Between games.
I don't want to spoil anything, but I'm not sure they make it to that second game.
Marky Anderson just came out and said something to Dave Phillips, the plate umpire.
See what happens too, Harry. If a fly ball goes to the outfield and somebody throws something,
They will.
all that outfielder has to do is make out it come at him.
Shout out to Sparky
And when he's
Anderson,
gonna catch it, it's
the
an
man.
out.
I'm surprised he's
They don't
having
run.
any of this.
They're
I'd be
having a
pissed,
ball.
dude.
We're in another world right now.
Yeah, they've been just.
Junior Moore in scoring position.
It's
2 out.
crazy how they just like let shit go on and they just kind of dealt with it.
Like records.
That's kind of cool in a sense, and then it's also insane and crazy in a sense.
Does that kiss feel familiar?
Everybody just kind of rolled with the punches and are like, this is our job. This is what we have to deal with,
Stay right up here,
and just
right
kept their
up
heads
here,
down.
right
That's
there.
cool,
The world is different.
but it's also insane because they're literally being assaulted and accosted and are in danger with thousands of people surrounding them, and they should be protected.
There'll be about a half hour between games.
Hello, LaFleur.
There's Lou Whitaker.
Hell yeah, Lou Whitaker rules.
Another one of those records.
His twin brother, Forrest Whitaker. Not funny? Fair enough.
Boy, there's a million banners here. You know, they could just keep from throwing those records on the field. It'd be just a tremendous promotion.
Hey, it's still getting positive light. Other than the mayhem and everything bad and all these banners with curse words on it against Disco and these chants, well, I mean, I guess the promotion is to get. This was a terrible White Sox team, so to get this kind of. The attendance was like 47,000.
He struck him out and the ball game was over.
And or the official reported one was 47,000, and they're saying that it was around 55 to 60. People were at some point sneaking in and coming in and pouring in, and there was no way they could keep track of it once it really got out of hand. So that promotion is insane because they were. I think they had like. They had like 1,300, or I mean, they had like some absolutely empty, insane number at like the previous game. So like that's a crazy bump up. Nuts. That's insane. The organ's pretty tight. And those are fireworks, yeah. Not sanctioned. The organist is just supposed to, like, they try to do this on the 10-cent beer night, too. It's like, disco sucks. This is already mayhem, dude. I love that, and the same thing happened. Like, people brought fireworks, they, like, brought explosives, and, like, the organist is terrified. He's like, I'm gonna lean into this. You know, he's yes-anding the crowd. He's like, I'm not gonna go against him. I'm playing something else. I'm playing Let's Go Sox. Let's Go Sox. Obviously, it's gonna immediately digress and turn into Disco Sucks. And now they're saying it too fast. They're like, stop doing it so fast. We can't say it that fast. Look at these criminals. They're probably celebrating somebody who's been hurt or injured. Oh, they probably ran on the field and are arrested. Or they stole that Jeep and they're running. That's the rebel army. Oh, no. So here comes the promotion. Folks, buckle up.
Good evening. Welcome to Insane Coho Lips, the White Sox Park.
Insane Coho Lips is the stupidest name. This guy sucks.
The biggest anti-disco demolition in the world tonight. My name is Gary Moyer.
Okay.
Please welcome the Supreme Commander, Steve Dahl.
This fucking homophobic piece of shit. And there's his 6 kittens. Look at this scumbag.
Hey, listen.
Jesus.
This is now officially the world's largest anti-disco rally.
It's the only one, you retard. Sorry for saying that. I apologize. Please don't tell anybody I said that. I'm so sorry I said that. If there's anyone that word would reply to, I do apologize.
And we love you.
It was pure anger that came out. I had a visceral response to this.
This is going to be all over the newspapers.
Yeah, it is going to be all over the newspapers. It's definitely going to be all over the newspapers.
Radio, all over the city, all over the country. And everybody's going to know.
Cool outfit, dude.
Us rock and rollers here in Chicago think disco sucks.
It just sounds like Rick Moranis, like a Ghostbuster character. He's Lewis. And what is his name? Tully? Lewis Tully? Is that right? I don't know. Yeah, it sounds just like Rick Moranis yelling. This is crazy, right? Like, disco kind of rules. You're wrong.
In a few minutes,
This is wild.
the world's largest disco demolition.
On the field, they're gonna light these before it, because there's supposed to be another doubleheader. I mean, there's supposed to be another game. It's a doubleheader.
We have a musical treat for you. Please welcome the Village People.
See, I wonder why he picked them.
What? You don't like the Village People?
Yeah, I like them. They're you get a fucking Indian and a construction guy singing about the YMCA and gay sex. That rules. That rules. Young man, you don't know, I said, young man, come and have some gay sex at the YMCA. That's where we are gay. We are GAY, so gay. Like that rules.
Well, listen, we took all the disco records that you brought tonight.
I guarantee
We got a bit of John.
a song about gay sex at a YMCA is so much cooler than anything that these people are listening to. What are they listening to? Fucking Slow Ride, Take It Easy. That's probably what they're listening to, which is kind of pretty tight actually, but
We
still.
will be returning to the scene of the crime here on the 5th of August for Day in the Park with
Bet-
Journey and Santana. You know the whole boogie.
Bet you won't. Yeah, we love Journey, but disco's gay.
Real good.
And Santana,
Teenage radiation, so we'll see you here for that.
he definitely won't ever do a future song with
Little snot
Rob
nose
Thomas
here.
of Matchbox 20.
Little snot nose. Just a little snot nose.
Carson, don't. That's slight.
Shucks, he's a
Journey
bad.
kind of sucks. Let's be honest. Steve Perry had a great voice. We respect it. We love it, but
Making us look
they
clean
kinda
like
suck.
This, you know, we're pretty important now around the station. They might not even care if the news is late from now on.
this is a crazy person. Like this is how dictators happen. This is how cults happen. This is how Jonestown happened.
First of all, we appreciate you listening to us every morning, supporting us.
And I won't be able to talk for the rest of the week because I'm yelling at this
It's
thing.
because of you that this is happening tonight, okay? Not because of us. We're merely a vehicle for your thoughts.
Clearly, it's only him doing this, and he is the vehicle. He is the reason this is happening.
Disco sucks. Disco sucks. Disco sucks. Disco sucks. Disco. Let's try a cohort chant.
Apparently, Steve Dahl wrote an anti-disco poem. Do you think I'm disco? Cause I spend so much time blow drying out my hair. Do you think I'm disco? Cause I know the dance steps, learned them all at Fred Astaire. That's a real thing that he wrote. Cool, man. Pretty tight. Yeah, they're very upset about. It's a parody. That was a parody of Rod Stewart's "Do You Think I'm Sexy?" Do you think I'm disco? How's it go? I don't know how "Do You Think I'm Sexy" goes while this guy's yelling in my ear. But that's why you do that poem to "Do You Think I'm Sexy?" And Rod Stewart rules. Obviously, that rules.
Okay, let's usher Steve down to the...
And this song characterizes the discotheques as populated by effeminate men and frigid women.
Disco sucks! Disco sucks! Disco sucks! Disco sucks!
This is wild.
Disco sucks! Disco sucks! Disco sucks! Disco sucks!
Yeah, there were actually a few other anti-disco riots and insurgencies around the country. People rioting because they were the DJ who played Donna Summer's "Hot Stuff," which was a bona fide hit, obviously. All right, this is actually taking too long. I'm gonna have to leave you with a cliffhanger. I'm gonna do this a two-parter, and we'll do the. I don't know what's gonna happen. Actually, it'll probably just end peacefully. Honestly, this is probably the end of it. Yeah, this is running too long, but I'll do the rest of it, and I'll get that up when I'm finished.
Okay, this is gonna blow up.
Oh, okay. I'll give you this. I'll give you the demolition, but then I am gonna cut it off, and it's gonna be abrupt. It's gonna go black, just like the end of Sopranos, which it was beloved by all, and everybody understood it and loved that ending. And it's a perfectly good ending.
As a good commander always does. And there's no way I'm getting near that thing.
That guy's just yelling, man. He's just yelling.
A coho, kamikaze, and demolition expert back there to pull the plunger.
What the fuck is he talking about?
It was from count to 3,
A coho kamikaze gonna pull the plunger.
and then we'll all go boom. And so are the disco records.
Jesus. Blow it up, you idiot.
All right, but first, just to get us all in the mood and to work us into an anti-disco frenzy here.
It's John Travolta or something. All right. All right, we get it, dude. People are losing steam and really are kind of sick of this. Blow the shit up, dude. This sucks. We rock and rollers will resist. There's nothing less rock and roll than calling yourself a rock and roller. You pussies. What the fuck, dude? What the fuck? This sucks. If we're talking about things that are gay, it's this. Not disco music and gay people. They rule. This is terrible. This, no wonder people rioted. I'd be pissed too. You get worked up into a feeding frenzy, and then you get an R-slur guy just yelling stuff, and then an anticlimactic explosion happens. All right, I'll see you for part 2. Nothing else happens. It ends peacefully, and the game 2 happens, and everything's great. Thank you for tuning in.